my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm going to do an application demo and wear test with this new foundation from About Face. This is the Performer Skin Focused Foundation, and I purchased mine from Ulta for 22 US dollars. I feel like that's incredibly reasonable price-wise for this foundation, considering I paid close to that for a CoverGirl skin essence thing. And, spoiler alert, I like this one a lot better than that one. I purchased the shade L2 Neutral. There are 45 different shades in this foundation, and it seems like they've done a great balance of both depth and undertone. They have fair, light, light medium, medium, medium deep, deep, and rich deep. And then within those different categories, they have cool, olive, warm, neutral, and peach undertones. I'll put the shade chart up here because I think they did a really nice job with this. I would love to see more of these specific and different types of undertones, and just it feels very well organized and very intentional. I give them major props for that because I do think this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. The price point is great, the shade range is great. We just have to find out if the actual performance is great. So like usual, I'm going to give you the application demo. First, we're going to look just at my plain bare skin, no makeup whatsoever. And then I'll show you some different wear test check-ins throughout the day. I have extremely dry skin. However, I have it pretty well under control with my current skincare routine. It's working really well for me. Overall, my skin type is dry. And I do prefer more hydrating, glowy type of base products that are more geared towards dry skin. I also have what's considered mature skin in the beauty world. I'm 38. I have fine lines and wrinkles and crinkles and sunspots. As far as, the grand scheme of the world goes, I've done pretty minimal intervention on those. I've never had Botox or any injectables. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that I would never do it. It's just up until this point, I have not done that. And I do think that's kind of relevant to a more skin-focused type of review. But obviously, I do skincare. I wear SPF. Those are my major interventions at this point for my aging, mature skin, which is crazy, but that's another video for another day. So let's start with that close-up look at my no makeup face, and then we'll go through the application and some wear test check-ins. Good morning. It is very early. I'm usually not good for much conversation this early. Typically, I won't start filming until like 9:30 or 10 because I need to be awake and alive, and I need to have ingested the proper amount of coffee and just taken some time to be a human. But today we're doing a wear test, which means I need to start early so that I can get plenty of wear in today. This is what we're testing. This is the About Face, the Performer Skin Focused Foundation. I've seen a couple people use this, and I try not to watch videos about products that I want to review, but Teresa is Dead applying this in one of her videos made me want to buy it. So I got the shade L2 Neutral. It looks pretty decent. We'll see what it actually looks like out of the bottle. I want to show you a close-up of my skin. I always like to show you the starting point of just my plain unmakeuped skin for a wear test, especially when we're examining something like coverage. I think it's really helpful to see what we're starting with, what we're covering up. Sometimes it's hard to gauge, how good is coverage if you don't know what are the spots and wrinkles and crinkles and redness and all that good stuff that we all have. Plus, I just think it's good to show it because a lot of the time it doesn't get shown. And normal skin is normal and great, and whatever type of skin you have is normal and great, and you are awesome. Now, let's go to this foundation. The bottle looks glass, but it's actually a pretty light plastic. I think this would pack well. I think it would travel well. The doe foot applicator is large and squishy and curved. It kind of reminds me of a lip oil applicator, which I don't mind at all, honestly. When I first swiped on the foundation, I thought it might be a little bit too golden, but as I started to blend it in, I think that it matched my skin tone pretty well. It might be a little slight bit more golden than what I need, but in general, I do think this is a really decent match. As far as application goes, this was a breeze. Just blending in with my finger gave me a really decent look. It didn't take too long. You will see me use this with a brush later. I just like to experiment with different application methods. And outside of this video, as I've been wearing this foundation more, I found that it responds well to a very slightly dampened sponge as well, just depending on what I have clean, what's available, and how much time I have. I think any of these application methods work pretty well with the Performer foundation. Uh, what? This looks incredible. Maybe I'm just like not fully awake yet, but this looks really good. Let's look really close up. I hope this lasts. Okay. We'll see if it settles into the forehead wrinkle here. That's usually a problem area for me, but it looks like skin. It looks amazing. Okay, this looks so good. I really hope this wears well throughout the day. It's glowy, it's hydrated. It looks like my skin. It just took away a lot of my redness and like kind of sunspots and stuff and evened me out, but it still looks like the texture of my skin and it still looks real because you can still see a little bit of stuff through it. Now I'm just evening out the other side, so applying the same foundation to the other side of my face. Since you saw that little side by side, I like to do that to really, really show the coverage. Even though you saw the starting point, I think it is easier to illustrate coverage when you see it truly side by side in the same frame. I'm also going to add another layer. I wanted to see if this was buildable, if I could get some more coverage out of this. And I think that it layers decently well. In my experience since this video, it layers better if I'm blending with a dampened sponge versus the brush. Although you can see here, it looks pretty darn good. It's definitely nothing terrible, nothing to complain about. But I do think that if I'm going to layer this, which I have done since filming this video, it just layers up better with a little dampened sponge, in my opinion. Helps the product to just soak into my skin a little bit better, and it makes the different layers nice and even. But hey, this looks great. I have nothing to complain about here. This looks really good. I'm gonna put on a little bit more makeup, but I'm not gonna do powder or setting spray. I might do a little bit of concealer and other face makeup, but I'm not gonna do any powder or setting spray. And we'll see how this lasts on its own. But so far it looks really good. Also, I just applied it, so that's the point of a wear test, but first impression is very, very good. Okay, see you in a undetermined amount of time. Bye. Okay, I am back for my first wear test check-in. It's been just over 3 hours since I applied this About Face foundation. As you can see, I've done some other makeup. I just haven't done my eyeshadow yet, but I'm gonna film that for another video. I did want to do a check-in now since I've been wearing the foundation for a while and just see how it's been holding up. I did apply some blush and highlighter, some brow gel, and a lip oil. But like I said, I didn't do powdering, setting, anything like that. Oh, and I did do just a tiny bit of concealer, but I tried not to do too much because I want to see how the coverage holds up. Let's zoom in and see how the Performer foundation looks after 3 hours of wear. This has been low impact wear. I've been running around just inside the house a little bit. It's raining right now, so I am gonna have to eventually go outside in the rain to get Maggie to go out there. But so far, I've just been doing my normal household chores, that type of stuff. So we'll get a little bit more high impact wear later. For now, let's just see how this is holding up. Let's take a moment because from this distance, it looks so good. So good. I mean, this looks like I just have really good skin. This looks so natural, I think. But let's see what the zoomed in footage tells us. Okay, let's start on the forehead. We've got a little bit of settling into this forehead wrinkle. That's always a problem for me, but not terrible, especially considering how hydrating this foundation is. My goodness, I think it looks so good so far. Really, really looks good. Let's see, do we have nose gunk? Not too bad, actually. Really not bad. All right, this looks pretty darn good. If it holds up this well in another 3 hours, I will be thrilled. We did get settled into the forehead wrinkles a little bit, which pretty much happens to me all the time. It's just the nature of having a expressive face, I guess. I think this looks great. I love it. I'm thrilled. If it keeps looking this good for the rest of the day, we might have a new favorite on our hands. Okay, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it hangs in there and looks this good because I like it so far. All right, I'm gonna go do my eyeshadow and I'll check in another few hours. See you then. Adios. This is my final check-in. I have been wearing this About Face, the Performer foundation for about 8 hours now. So side note, apologies. If you hear any ruckus in the background, it's because my kid's home from school. So let's just pretend that you didn't hear that. Pretty sure he's deeply engrossed in a video game right now though, so I think we have time for a check-in. One thing I will say right off the bat before we even get into the close-up, I can tell that I've lost a lot of coverage around my nose. Like you can see all this redness. It's cold and pouring rain and dreary and misty and foggy and blah outside today. So anytime that I had to go out and about, especially walking Maggie, so I did have to blow my nose a couple times after spending time outside in this cold, dreary weather. So I know that's why my nose is so red and why I've lost so much coverage, but that's just part of the wear test, you know? Life happens. Sometimes you gotta blow your nose when it's cold and rainy outside. So that's just the way it goes. I don't think it really has much to do with the foundation. Aside from that redness around the nose, I think that's pretty normal. So I'm not gonna really hold that against this specific foundation. I wanna see what the close-up reality is because as you can tell, I have filmed another video today. I worked for a long time on that. I did the typical mom stuff, the typical taking care of the dog, running the household. So I've been in and out and about doing a wide variety of tasks today, as I always do. So let's zoom in and see how the foundation held up. I think from this distance, it looks really, really good, especially considering the weather that it was out in. Obviously, I knew this was going to be an issue. It's just the way of the world, so. Let's see how the forehead looks. I mean, it looks the same or maybe even better than before that, like, foundation crease in my forehead wrinkles. I look a little bit shiny here, which I like. I have dry skin, so I really want to look hydrated and casually sweaty. This is often a problem area for me. I get a lot of dryness in this area. Doesn't look bad. Looks pretty good. Try not to be distracted by this glittery blue eyeshadow. But I think this area looks really good, actually. See how the cheeks look? It's typical for me to lose coverage right here throughout the day. That happens pretty much every day. But in general, I think the cheeks look good. Let's see if we got any nose gunk. Minimal, but again, I did have to blow my nose a lot, so maybe I wiped it away. This looks great. Let's see the chin. I think this held up so well. I'm actually shocked. After the first check-in, I was like, oh, this is too hydrating. It's too slippery. It's going to wear off. It's going to go into all of my little lines and creases. And it really really didn't. It really didn't. I'm shocked, especially after being out in the rain. I mean, obviously I need to touch up here, but overall it looks beautiful. It looks so good. So good. I mean, this is like top tier performance. And I've tried a lot of base products so far this year, especially considering how early in the year we are. This is fabulous. Really, really good. I'm actually going to do a little bit of touch up with this around my nose and then I'll film the rest of the video, but I just want to get rid of some of that redness. I'm going to go do that. Through the magic of editing, I'll look perfect for the intro. Considering that our time into 2024 really can still be measured by number of weeks at this point, I have tried a lot of base products so far this year, and this is well towards the top. So far, my undisputed favorite was this Camo Hydrating CC Cream from e.l.f. Still really like this one. These are on par. I mean, I think these are contenders for great products of the year. I know it's early to be calling that, but I'm impressed. I'm impressed so far. In general, I would say I like almost everything about this About Face foundation. The price point is great. The shade range is great. The arrangement of the shades in the shade range is really thoughtfully done, and I appreciate that. This applied easily. It wore beautifully. I think this is pretty much exactly what I'm looking for out of a base product. It's not too much coverage that it doesn't look like my skin, but it's enough that it evens out a lot of the things that I want to even out. It wore really, really well. I can only imagine how well this would do if I did a little bit of setting powder, a little bit of setting spray. I can imagine that this would do really well under those circumstances as well. The only thing that I don't like about this foundation, it's not even the giant doe foot because I don't have a problem with that. It's the stopper. When I'm taking the wand out, the stopper is so tight in there that I have to kind of yank the doe foot out. And every time I've done that, it has like trying not to say, I'm trying so hard. Okay, I'm an adult. Every time foundation shoots out and sprays out and gets on my pants or my desk or my whatever, it shoots out foundation everywhere. I've had this problem with other stoppers before, so that's really my only complaint. Imagine if this was in like a squeezy tube style or a tube with a pump like this, it would be completely unstoppable. I would have zero complaints. So the only thing that I don't like about it is that stopper problem making foundation launch out into the stratosphere, which imagine, you know, you don't want that on your clothes. And anyway, that could be something that resolves over time. Maybe I just need to use it more and kind of loosen up that packaging a little bit. I think that there's potential for that to resolve, but for right now, it's the one complaint that I have. Overall, I think this is incredible, beautiful, stunning, well-priced, great shade range, wore well, looks great on me. I absolutely love it. I see myself wearing this a lot in the future. If you don't have dry skin, you're probably not going to like this one. My friends out there with more oily skin type, probably not going to love this. But if you're like me and you have dry or even just normal skin type, then I do recommend this. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this foundation. Have you tried it? Are you interested? Have you had a different experience? I always love to hear what things you're enjoying, what type of skin type you have. Make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. What? Okay. My friend Kim gave me this mug many years ago. We went on a girls trip and she gave me this as a present, and it literally makes me happy every single time that I use it and I think about her. What an amazing human she is. I promise I'm gonna get it together. I slept through my second alarm, so I was like kind of rushed getting my kid ready for school today. It was just, it's all gonna be uphill from here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Let's do a close-up of the skin. That is what my face looks like. This is real life. Real life face. The filters have gotten so out of control, especially on Instagram. People younger than me probably don't even know what actual human skin looks like anymore. I get it. I'm not judging people who are not feeling secure with their skin, but it's excessive. There are people who are like 20 and perfect. Perfect putting these blurring filters on. It doesn't even look good to me. I don't get it. I don't know. No offense. If you filter, whatever. I'm not here to judge you. I just think we're going down kind of a weird path online right now, and I don't know how I feel about it. Mostly not very good. Is it just me, or does this look so good? Oh, it keeps trying to focus on my earring. Accidental matching nails. I do. A lot. A lot. A lot. Ah. Okay. I'm gonna calm down. Maybe. I know. You probably clicked on this video and were confused about why I'm wearing sparkly blue smoky eyeliner. Look, I've been really branching out and really flexing my muscles in different ways. Color-wise, over the past year, I've really expanded my repertoire a lot for colors. So, this is kind of the new normal for me, and I love it. Okay, I am so tired. I have been filming and momming and working, and now I just want to go chill. I really want to take this eye makeup off because my poor eyeballs are ready to relax. Imagine if I had false lashes on, I would be ripping my makeup off right now. That's why I did not put falsies on with this look, because I knew I had to wear my makeup all day. And now I'm gonna go take my makeup off and I'm going to make dinner. I think I'm gonna make some sweet Thai chili shrimp and some rice and a big crunchy salad. Doesn't that sound good? That sounds really good. Okay, I gotta go because I'm so hungry now that I said that. I love your faces, and I hope that you have a beautiful, lovely, special, magical day because you deserve it and you're awesome. Okay, I love your face. Bye.